You can tell I may be a little bit under the weather, but I do not have the coronavirus. It was checked out when I entered the country last week, so I can tell you where I did get a cold. So I'll take this off, but saw a lot of those as I was traveling. So I have a new little grandson. He's 10 months old, 11 months old almost. He was born on World Water Day last year, March 22nd, and Lincoln is his name. And Lincoln gave me whatever he had. And so I've got a little bit of runny nose. So I apologize up front if I sound a little gravelly today, if I cough uncontrollably, if I grab some water to drink. I do not have the coronavirus. You're safe, okay? All right. So as long as we got that under control. Oh, by the way, he put himself into isolation so that he wouldn't contaminate everybody. Oh, the slides aren't showing. Are we good? Ah, there he is. That's my buddy Lincoln. And he just now learned how to say Papa. And so I'm pretty excited about that. Today I want to talk to you about ideas and about tapping into the passion that you may have to do something remarkable. I am so excited to be here because I understand that there's 49 countries, different countries represented here. Is that right? Fantastic. I went to a Baptist college in Missouri as well. I also know the joys and the trauma of mandatory chapel, so I appreciate you being here, even though you're made to do it. But I appreciate you being here. In this room, within the sound of my voice, there are a million different ideas that you guys have. What I want to talk to you about is an aha moment. For me, my aha moment came, and I want to tell you about my story, but I want to hear some of your stories as well. I'm going to be in dining room C after this is over. We've also got some tchotchkes and junk out there for you if you want to grab some stickers and pop sockets for your phone, that kind of thing. But be able to answer questions and things like that. I want to be able to talk with you about some of the things. But for me, aha moment is not just the idea, but it's also taking the opportunity to make that dream or that idea, that thought that you have, and turn it into something that's a reality. So here's my story. My story begins standing naked in a shower in Nairobi. Now, I know that is an ugly mental picture at this point right now. Wipe that out of your mind, because I'm standing there, I'm watching the water go down the drain, and God hits me over the head like a ton of bricks and says, Ken, water is life here. The people you just left would give anything to have the water you're just letting go down the drain. And at that point, I knew I had to do something. You see, what had happened was I'd been up in the northern part of Kenya, South Sudan, working with the Turkana people group. Amazing, beautiful people, absolutely captivating. But the whole area looks like, a war zone. I mean, there's no trees. It's all dust and dirt and everything. And this was my first trip into Africa. And so I was pretty excited about going. Didn't understand exactly where we'd be staying and things like that, but we were out in the bush and having a good time. But we're seeing and experiencing all of these things. So as I come back and I'm standing in that shower, it's what I'm processing in my head that makes me understand what the need is here. You see, we'd seen kids all along the way with water bottles begging for water. We'd stop, we'd fill up a water bottle, and these kids would run back to their home like they had gold. They'd take it back to their little hut and share it with their parents and with their other family members. It was absolutely mind-blowing to see the need there. You see, what happens is the people will take and they'll burn the trees down to make charcoal, so they can sell the charcoal along the side of the road, so they can make $1 or $2 so they can buy what they need. So this whole area, as they move from place to place, they're migratory. They go from place to place. They burn all the trees down, so you're left with nothing but desert. I mean, there were miles and miles where we were riding on a road and there's no road, simply because of all the dust and everything. One of the things that really captured my heart was a little mom. I'm playing. I love kids, okay? So I'm monkeying around with the little guys and everything. And so I'm talking to this one mom through an interpreter. I said, well, learning about life there in the village and everything and how they make their huts and everything. And then I asked her the stupidest question I could have asked her. Through the interpreter, I looked over and I said, what's his name? Because I had him giggling. He's about a year and a half old. He's giggling, laughing, and this look came across her face after he gave her the question. But he doesn't have a name. he explained to me. Why not? I mean, you guys were named before you even came squirting out. I mean, we name our kids now, you know, 9 months after they're conceived. I mean, they come out, they've already got names, they've got serial numbers, they've got everything that they need. They are Social Security numbers, not sorry about that, serial number. Tattooed across her right hand or forehead, right? But she is, you know, she's telling me, she says, well, he doesn't have a name. He's not old enough yet. He probably won't live. You see, the reality that she lives in is 1 in 5 children in sub-Saharan Africa will die before they reach the age of 5. For me, that was one of those things, because I have my own kids, but I also have such a love for other children that, man, we've got to do something. 80% of the hospital beds in developing countries are occupied by people with waterborne disease. I sat with some of the VPs from Johnson & Johnson not too long ago, and I said, look, you guys do amazing work all around the world. You give away $1 billion, with a B, billion dollars worth of goods to hospitals, clinics, and stuff all around the world. You guys, we can do one thing, and we can eliminate the need for 80% of those beds. And they looked at me like I had horns, okay? And I said, all we have to do is bring safe water to these villages. Our goal is to bring safe water to the world. I'm going to go through some technology and things that we've got going on, but I'm counting on you guys. Some of you guys are in engineering. Figure out some new ways that we can treat water. Figure out ways that we can develop new systems of water that we can give to other people. One of the things I want to do is I want to introduce you to one of my little buddies, okay? Do you guys remember the movie The Bucket List? Morgan, you remember that one? Morgan Freeman and Jack Nicholson, and they're 2 old dudes in the hospital, and they create this list of things they want to do before they kick the bucket. And so we wanted to, in some way, in a creative way, but in a positive way, tell the statistics about 1 in 5 children in sub-Saharan Africa that I mentioned earlier. And so this is Kaitoli. Kaitoli is a 4-year-old Maasai boy living in Amboseli, Kenya, right on the border of Tanzania. In fact, in the video here in just a second, you'll see in his backyard is Mount Kilimanjaro, which is over in Tanzania. I mean, it's beautiful, beautiful place. So what we did was we took Kaitoli on a 4-year-old bucket list. Here is his story.
Orang main gol makan. Karena marul jago. Karena bala dinimit. Sekarang mulai pengalaman lah. Lalu yo, mana mana ya regennya. Ada udah ada. Dengar remeli, lenda lakukan dulu ya. Tapi dan orangnya, mereka nih berada kau, tengok entah siapa kayaknya. Ada balik dan karena doa ya. Nah, kalau dan karena doa ya.
we've tried to do storytelling in a positive way, trying to communicate some really horrible messages and statistics, but do it in a way that's edifying. Kaitoli's a rock star in his village. Just a couple of years later, he is still alive. Everybody asked me, did he make it? Yeah, he made it. He's still alive. But because of people sharing his story all over social media, we've been able to drill a well there in his community. In the little village, they've stopped going from place to place. They've settled now in one area. And now that well supplies not only water to his village, but also to a school and to 3 other villages in his area as we run pipelines to those spots. Here's Kaitoli getting a fill up for his family. To give you an idea, water's life's in over 47 countries around the world. Hopefully we're in some of the countries that you represent from your homeland. We deal with 2 key areas, water quality and water scarcity. Water quality being probably the easiest thing to deal with because most people, since the dawn of man, we've gravitated toward water. So we all live by water. But the problem is we're also our own worst enemy. Because we take what we don't want, we throw it in the river, somebody else has to deal with it downstream. And so water quality is one of those issues that we have to deal with, but water scarcity as well. So 75%, I'll give you just a quick overview. 75% of the world's water is salt water. 75% of the world's surface is covered with water. 97% of that is salt. 2% are in the polar ice caps. Okay, so that leaves less than 1% for 7.5 billion people to all take a drink from. Do you think we're on a collision course for something bad? We are. I'm from Oklahoma. Boone Pickens is a big oil and gas guy there. I don't know if you guys know who Boone Pickens is. Those of you that are in engineering probably know the name. But when the Boone family and Boone's family and the Bush family start buying up more water rights than they own oil rights, it's going to tell you where the next battle is. The next battle will be over water. Right now, Pakistan and India are at nuclear option for water. India and China in the same boat. They are ready to go to war over the water that surrounds their borders. Today, there'll be 6,000 people die because they don't have safe drinking water. 5,000 of those are kids. So our goal is to impact as many kids as we possibly can. When we're dealing with the water quality issue, we have a lot of different technologies. We've got these little teeny straw filters that'll do 500 liters of water. I can drink from mud hole, creek, river, stream, and I've done all of that. I've even drank out of the toilets, out of a couple of news channels. My mom disowned me over that, but it's okay. It's all okay now. But we have straw filters. We have home systems. We have some really cool solar and wind technology. And that's where I want to challenge you guys that are in the engineering thing. Man, figure out some new ways that we can capture water. We also drill water wells. We do all of those kind of things to help bring safe water to these communities. One of the things that I'm very, very excited about is we do have the solar and wind-powered water treatment plant. You can see it up on the screen there. We've got over 500 of these in 28 countries now around the world. Pretty amazing technology. There's 50 some in Haiti. We're just waiting to get back into Haiti right now. The whole premise of it is being able to take and treat 20,000 liters of water a day for most people. But we have some really cool stuff that's coming out, and that's what I want to tell you about. We've got an atmospheric water generator that pulls water vapor from the air. The cool thing is there's a lot of different technologies that are out there that do this, but this will allow us in an affordable way to be able to end the world water crisis. We don't have to drill. We don't have to find a water source, a river, creek, stream, a dugout someplace. What we can do is we can go in, we can set this up. It'll produce 2,000 liters in 5% humidity or above. Now, most atmospheric water generators depend on about 75% humidity. We're pulling it in at such a cold rate, it's 5%. And so we're able to produce water in the mountains, in the deserts, wherever we need it. One of the things that you've probably never heard in this chapel before is get your phone out. You guys got phones? We believe in the power of social media. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all of those things. If you want please follow us, tag us. We know that everybody loves social media. Even my mom turned 90 this week. She's on Facebook, and she posts the most awful stuff sometimes. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's what she ate for breakfast. I mean, it's a continual live stream of junk. So what we did a couple years ago is we wanted to take and use social media to help bring awareness to the world of the world water crisis. So there was a hashtag that was very popular at the time. It's called First World Problems. You guys know what first world problems are? What are they? Give me some first world problems. No Wi-Fi, or the Wi-Fi's too stinking slow. What else? What? My AirPods don't work, and my battery died. Yeah, my phone cord's too short, or whatever. We've got a ton of them, don't we? So anyway, what we wanted to do is poke fun at ourselves, have a little fun, but also be able to communicate a message in a very powerful way. So this next video is a summary of the Anthem commercial we did. Now, to give you perspective, the Anthem commercial has been it beat out Coke, Pepsi, and a bunch of other people as commercial of the year. Thanks to our guys that did it all for free. So those of you guys in the media department that want to get into some filming with some mission groups, we'd love to drag you along with us, help you win some awards. To give you an idea, it originally was, we were working with DDB out of New York. They called and said, hey, we want to help out. We want to do some things. So we took 4 guys from DDB down to Haiti to film this little Anthem commercial. Been viewed over 750 million times on Facebook, Instagram.
Water is Life is a charity that deals with real, life-threatening problems. Ones that make ours at home seem trivial in comparison. To put this into perspective, we flipped the popular yet insensitive First World Problems meme on its head and used it to help spread awareness of the world water crisis. This is the hashtag killer, the first ever attempt to end a hashtag rather than promote it.
I hate when my phone charger won't reach my bed.
I hate when my little seats aren't heated.
When I go to the bathroom and I forget my phone.
Le mette radio dans machine à laver, yo commence sentir.
To launch the project, we created an Anthem commercial by gathering first world problem tweets and having people in Haiti recite them.
M'pa écrit message devant marcher en même temps.
Moi te quitté casse moi en bas.
Moi raï les voisins bloqué internet là.
But perhaps even more effective was the series of personalized responses in which various Haitians console those who have used the hashtag.
I'm sorry, you've been working by cleaning lady.
Dear Jordan, dear Adam,
I'm sorry your little seats aren't heated.
I'm sorry you have to get up on the couch.
I hope your day gets better.
my name is Cedric. If I was there, I'd get them for you.
The campaign was immediately picked up by celebrities, influencers, and every major news outlet. But it was bigger than just gaining impressions or ending hashtags. We were able to change the conversation through social media. Instead of complaining about first world problems, people began using the hashtag as a vehicle to spread Water is Life's message and to encourage donations. And enough donations came in to provide over 1 million days worth of clean water to those in need. Some people called it a meme-jacking campaign. Others called it reverse trending. But we call it hashtag killer. Not just an attempt to end a hashtag, but to use social media to effect a real change in our world.
That little guy with the great dance moves, that's Ricardo. He's one of the orphans there in the orphanage we were working at there in Haiti. One of the things that I want to do in the next couple of minutes that we have together is I want to talk to you about your story. Each one of us has different ideas, different passions, different things that we feel very, very passionate about and want to make a difference and make a change. And so what I want to do is I want to help you to tap into your passion maybe a little bit today, okay? You ready to go on this journey with me? All right, great deal. So first thing is getting personal perspective. I look at these as the tracks that we run our lives on. There are different things that speak to our heart. Maybe it's a class or a professor that you have that really touches you. I know in my university experience, there was one guy that actually caused me to change my major because I loved what he did and what he represented. He touched me in a way that no other professor had and changed my major, got a double major then. But those values are those train tracks that we run on. It could be things that you find in your quiet time or other books that you read. There's a guy that most of you probably don't know, but he has some things that will help you to understand. I use the phrase, what makes you tick is probably what ticks you off. And they made that statement years and years ago. The things that you pound the table over, the things that keep you up at night, what are those things? The things that bother you when you see them in the news, or the things that you see, the injustices that you may see, what are those things that you get passionate about, that you want to fight over? The next thing is assess your values. Again, those are tracks that we run on. The personal perspective is a journey that is a very fruitful journey for you to do. Look at yourself. Look at your spiritual gifts, your heart, your ability, your personality, all your experiences. All of those things have shaped us into what God wants us to do and to what He wants us to be. The values, again, are those train tracks that we run on. Zig Ziglar is a gentleman that I heard when I was in my early 20s. There at university, a guy came in and just blew my mind. He said a lot of different things, but one of the things that has really stuck with me, and I really believe that it's a business principle that if businesses understand this, they're hugely successful. He made the statement, he says, you can get everything in life that you want if you just help enough other people get what they want. And think about it. Isn't that what businesses are supposed to do? Some of you guys are going to create businesses that are going to, maybe outshine Amazon. Who knows? The guy is the world's richest guy, just dedicated $10 billion toward greenhouse gases and eliminating the global warming. Let's see how he does. I'm excited for him, but we'll see. But as you begin to develop business plans and develop ideas, build into it the opportunity for people to give back and to make a difference and to make an impact, whether it's in your company or whether it's what you do. You look at the success of companies today, and you'll see brands like Patagonia that are hitting it. When I used Patagonia when I was an old rock climber 100 years ago, okay? They were a little bitty old company. They had a couple of little fleece jackets. They had a bunch of rock climbing gear, and that was about all they had. Now look at them. They're a major clothing brand. Probably half of you guys are wearing Patagonia stuff today. It's because they give back. They use recycled materials. They give back to the environment. They're environmentally conscious, and people are gravitating toward that. As millennials, you guys understand that half of the buying population now are millennials. 87% of millennials and below want something tied to a cause, want a company that gives back, want a company that's not just about making money, but about making a difference. And I got to applaud you because you're shifting the way that businesses are beginning to work and beginning to think. They're thinking more about corporate responsibility now than they ever have, and it's because of you guys. So hats off. Thank you for what you've done. The next thing is start failing. Now, I know that sounds probably counterintuitive, but we got to realize you're going to fail. Okay, there are going to be things that blow up in your face, and it's okay. You're not a failure, the project did. Think if Thomas Edison had stopped at 10,000 tries at making the light bulb. We'd be sitting in the dark today. We wouldn't be enjoying it. But he said, I found 10,000 ways not to do something, and then he figured out a way to do it. Start failing. The other thing to that is that in Philippians it tells us, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That's one of the verses that's one of those values that my life runs on, is I believe the impossible that God wants to do. And He wants to do the same things through you. He wants to do the impossible even when you fail. He can use that. Simplify. Again, not coronavirus, I promise you. We have so much stuff. Guys, come on. You go and you stay in an African village for a couple of weeks and you realize how unimportant all the crap is that we have back in our house. Simplify. The problem with some of the social media stuff is we get so caught up in it and we get so tied to it that not our stuff doesn't own us. I mean, we don't own our stuff anymore. Our stuff owns us. Whether it's a car, whether it's a phone, whatever. Simplify. Pare things down. And then be prepared for interruptions. Now, a lot of you guys like a plan. You got everything planned out. You know what you're going to do today. You know what you're going to do tomorrow. You got your schedule. You got all this. And you live by the plan. I live by a calendar too. I'm not bashing anybody. But guess what? Life interrupts sometimes. And you got to be ready for it. And so plan into the day in your plan that there are going to be interruptions, because sometimes those are divine appointments that God puts into your path that you would never have if you hadn't taken the time to listen, to talk, to visit with a friend. The interruptions that come in are sometimes those God moments that you cannot pass up. The next one is overcome limitations. How many of you guys are married in here? Several of you. Okay. Some of you are not very proud of your spouse, I can tell. Because you didn't raise your hand very high, you kind of gave it one of these, okay? A couple of the things that have impacted me the most are fear and unforgiveness. I got to be honest with you. Fear of failure, fear of disappointment of friends, family members, things like that. And those can be crippling for me. Maybe you struggle with that too. The other thing is forgiveness. You know, we never taught forgiveness. Have you ever had a class on forgiveness? You guys may have. I had never had. My mom would always say, Ken, forgive and forget. Well, guess what? I can tell you not to think about pink elephants, but guess what you're thinking about? A pink elephant right now, right? Yeah, it just happens. You can't forget. But what you can do is you can let that person off the hook, because they're never off God's hook. But when we learn to forgive, and if you're a married couple, this summer we'll celebrate our 45th anniversary. We got married when we were in college, 19 years old. Wouldn't recommend that for anybody or for everybody, but it worked out great for me. My wife may be on the bubble on that, but no, she's not. I married my best friend. I mean, it's been one of those things that's been an absolute true blessing for me. But here's my free advice for you guys that are married or thinking about getting married. Forgive early, forgive often, and don't keep score. One of the things I learned from my mom is that you can keep this scoreboard in your brain, that every time you look at a person, you look through that scoreboard first and you see all the stuff that they've done, the mess ups and goof ups and mistakes and things, and you judge them and you treat them through that perspective. My encouragement to you is wipe that slate clean every day, especially with your spouse. Because you're going to do dumb stuff, I promise you, okay? We are all idiots, and we do dumb stuff all the time. And we'll say things, we'll do things that are hurtful. Forgive early, forgive often, wipe the slate clean. Free advice, okay? Next one is network. My dad was my hero. My dad was a career military guy, fought in the war, and I am running out of time real fast, okay? But one of the things he said to me was, Ken, 2 heads are better than one, even though yours is a not head, okay? And so surround yourself with smart people. Network. Learn about the strengths that other people can bring to the table. I'm the dumbest guy in the room, but I surround myself with some really smart people, and that networking is the key. You network, you fight the battle because of the people that you surround yourself with. Matthew 25 is one of my favorite passages. Some of Jesus' last words to his disciples. He reminds us to do all of these cool things. And then he makes the statement. He says, the king will answer them, most certainly, I tell you, because you did it to one of these, the least of these, my brothers and my sisters, you did it to me. What's your big idea? What's the ideas that you have? Maybe you have a passion for global warming and climate change, or maybe you want to help stop the wars that are happening around the world. Maybe you've got an idea that you can make $1 bazillion and help so many people in the process of doing that. Could be taking care of homeless people. could be working, through blood diamonds and all of that, or with the environment. Whatever your idea is, whether it's human trafficking to global warming, you can make a difference. You can have an impact. It starts with one person. Your idea, and you may be that very catalyst that brings hope and health and life to so many people. I'm excited about your generation because my generation threw money at stuff, turned a blind eye and said, gosh, I hope that goes away. That's ugly. You guys are militant. This is what's exciting to me. You get excited about it. Yeah, we can raise money. We can do that kind of, but we want to go roll up our sleeves. We want to go do something. And you've got some amazing organizations that are represented here through this week. And I think Thursday night is the night for the ministry fair. Is that correct, Karen? Yeah. Thursday night. Make sure you come. Sign up. We would love to take you with us. I mean, we've taken over 1,000 volunteers with us over the course of the few years that we've been in existence. We would love to take you with us. But there are a lot of other organizations. My encouragement to you is don't just sit on the sidelines. Go and do something. Make a difference. Make an impact. And your idea may be the very thing that changes the world. My wife has a favorite quote from Mother Teresa. And, it's just basically that whatever you do, of all the things that you do, everything's a little stuff. It's all about little stuff. But do it with love. Let the love of God shine through you to other people, and you can make a difference. Again, on social media, if you can help us out, we'd love for you to be able to be one of our ambassadors and help us in exchange of information. I'll be out back here for a few minutes, questions, comments, and snide remarks that you want to make. But I want to pray for you guys as you head out. And as we go today, stand with me, okay? I don't want you numb on one end and dumb at the other. Father God, we just thank you for today, and I want to pray over these people right now. I pray that, God, that you would inspire them, that, Father God, that you would use them as tools in your hands, because that's all we are. We're just a monkey wrench and a screwdriver in the hand of God. But, God, you want to use us as tools to impact and change the world. It starts with one idea. Somebody gets passionate about something and changes the world. And I pray that you'd use these students as catalysts and world changers. It's in your name we pray. Everybody said? Amen. All right. Thank you, guys.